In today's video, I want to show you how you can make your own shirts. The reason I started making my own shirts is because I didn't want to get stuck with a bunch of sizes that I didn't need, and I wanted a little bit more flexibility. So a couple important things to note is that it is by using your own heat press as well as getting your own designs made. So for me, I typically go through tkosales.com, or you can use a place like Ninja Transfers. I would kind of compare the pricing on the two because sometimes certain things are a little bit cheaper than others. Like if you're trying to use a single color design like I use, or if you're trying to use multicolor, one of those companies might make a better fit for what you're trying to do. So there is a little bit of upfront cost with doing this. So you will be needing to purchase the heat press, which when I purchased mine, I want to say it was like $250 or something like that. And then you're going to have to purchase the designs. So when I go through TKO sales, it's usually about 40 bucks per design, but you're getting 100 of them. So that affords you the opportunity to make 100 shirts for $40 with the design. Now the shirts, those fluctuate in price. I go through jiffyshirts.com. They have a bunch of different blank shirts, and you can get them for different brands and stuff like that. Personally, I like to use the Bella Canvas shirts. I like how they feel. They're super soft. Everybody that I have given them to or has gotten one from me have always liked them because of how soft they are. And that model is the 3413C. So I typically get the tri-blend. That's like a polyester, cotton, something or another. And that's mostly because if you're down in the snake room or in the rodent room or anything like that working, you want something that's a little bit lighter, a little bit airier, and you don't want like a super thick like cotton shirt. Now all that does come down to personal preference. They also do have the Gildan, Hanes, all the typical brands that you would see for a shirt, and you can kind of pick whichever ones you like. And that's kind of where I go into like the flexibility. So with the flexibility, you're able to pick up as many shirts as you need. Say you have a show coming up or something like that, and you want to bring shirts for your friends, which is what I typically do. So I pick up various sizes for different people, and then I just get that sent to me. I make the shirts, and not only shirts, you can also make snake bags. So I have made snake bags in the past. I do need to order new designs for that, but it just adds like a little bit of extra flexibility in your ability to customize your own stuff to give a little bit of like a different experience. So when you're comparing the cost from doing shirts yourself to getting them done somewhere else, I don't know the numbers, but it's typically expensive because the price per shirt goes up, or there's a minimum quantity. So yes, this is an expensive thing to start in the sense that you do have to purchase the heat press, which like I mentioned before, when I got mine, it was like $250, $270. Now this particular model is up like 100 bucks or something. But what I would probably suggest is just purchasing whichever one works best for your budget off of Amazon, seeing if you like it. If you don't like it, send it back, get a different one. Now, the reason why that's kind of important is because this is kind of one of those buy once, cry once situations. You're purchasing this heat press one time, you're using it as many times as you need, continually making shirts to your discretion and changing designs. Let's just say you decide, hey, I don't like this design, or you want to do a different design. Say for like Bob's show, the Southeast Reptile Expo, and they have, a different, a theme. You can create a design custom to that theme, make a whole new batch of limited edition shirts, and you're set. You're not locked into that one design until you move those shirts out. And there's no setup fee or anything crazy like that that you would get if you went through a typical shirt making company or whatever. So I do really like that. And again, it's like that matter of buying this thing, paying that one-time fee for purchasing the machine versus every single time you're having to do like a minimum purchase of however many shirts, which is going to be more expensive than purchasing that machine one time with that same flexibility of being able to adjust your designs. So enough of all the blabbering. Let's get into how you actually make these shirts using the heat press. All right, so let's get to making some of these shirts. So I have my design on this kind of contact sheet here that is going on the front, and then this one here is going on the back. So every time you get one of these orders, it's going to come with a little kind of how-to sheet here. So for this, it is basically telling me that for cotton, I'm going to need 325. For like a polyester, like a blend, you need 300. So, and then the amount of time. So for this, it's going to be 6 to 8 seconds and then peel hot. So that basically just means as soon as the shirt comes off of the press, you're going to want to peel the design off. And then if you want, you can basically put it through the press again just to kind of set the design. So let's get to making some of these shirts. So you do want to make sure that the heat press is properly heated to the desired temperature, which unfortunately this is round 2 because I didn't realize that this shirt was a cotton blend, or a cotton shirt pure. The front turned out fine, but then I had issues on the back. So that is the disadvantage of doing some of these things on your own, is that you can screw them up. So that's fun. But what I like to do is kind of straighten out the shirt as best as I can. And then I try and even it out, and I use the tag to kind of determine how even it is. And then I like to have a good like finger length distance. Help if I put the shirt on the right way. I like to have like a good like finger width distance between the collar and where the design goes, because you want it to at least have a little bit of breathing room on the design here. So I'm going to press this down first so I can remove any wrinkles and stuff like that that the shirt might have. And then we're going to place the design. Try and get it as centered as possible, or where you feel like you want to have it. Press down again, 8 seconds. Now, as mentioned, it does say peel hot, so then I just kind of place this down on the table. And then I peel the design off of here. The longer you wait, the more of a pain it is to get off. So now we have our first shirt done. Now, whenever I do the back, instead of just placing it directly on there, what I like to do is actually kind of scrunch up the shirt as if you're kind of putting it on. And then I just kind of put it on over the base plate. Then I make sure the tag is out of the way. And again, kind of just straighten it. Try and get as many wrinkles out as possible. And then also kind of try and have it centered as best as possible. Give it another compression so that way there are no wrinkles in it. You probably don't even have to wait that long, but it's just habit, I guess. Now, if you are putting something on the back, you want to remember that this is upside down. So you want to make sure that your design is going to be upside down. Otherwise, you're going to have an upside down design. And then just kind of put that where you want. I kind of like mine like middle of the shoulder blades and like a couple of fingers down from the back. And then same thing. Compress. And then there we have the back put on. So now you have both a front and back design. So this is a very rinse and repeat process, which makes it kind of nice. And if you have some music going or something, it makes it go pretty fast if you're trying to make a bunch of these before you go to a show. So to sound like a broken record. Centered. Couple of fingers distance. Compress to remove the wrinkles. Centered, clean, press. Now I do understand kind of time is money, and if you're in a situation where that doesn't really matter, by all means, continue to purchase your shirts in quantity and whatever else. But for me, this I think works out the best. And you ensure that you're actually getting quality, because I've done a couple of shirts before where I used like one of those services that does the shirts, and the designs, I don't know what they use, but they use something that doesn't give this look on the design. And I also actually really do like the fact that even after you wash these several times, you're not really going to end up with a bunch of cracks or anything like that kind of breaking up the design. So I'll usually make a fresh batch right before going to a show, and then I have friends that I'll get shirts to basically every year, so they have pretty much a fresh shirt every year. So that's how you make the shirts. Let me know if you found this video helpful, and if you want to start making your own shirts. If you have any questions, you can always leave a comment down below or hit me a message on Instagram, and I'll try and get back to you and help you kind of sort stuff out. As always, thanks for taking your time to watch this video, and we'll see you in the next one.